bit of cloud cover, so it's been a very pleasant day. My name is Elena Allen. I will be your commentator for today's finals, and alongside me I have Abby Ling from Great Britain, who competed over the last 2 days in this trap competition. Hello, Abby.
Hello, Elena.
It's great to have you here with me to help me with today's proceedings. We were just having a quick look on our screens at the cartridges and shotguns being used in these competitions. This is a standard shotgun that you can see, 12 gauge, although I do know in skeet some people have been known to use 20 gauge, but more typically it's a 12 gauge competition. Each shotgun is actually individually adjusted for each competitor. It's quite a complicated thing. It all depends on your body type, your preference, and the discipline you shoot. So we're just seeing Luciano Rossi, the ISSF president, on our screens, who's come to support the European Championships. So the Trap Women Junior event, which I mentioned earlier, is the first event of today, followed at 3 o'clock by Trap Women, at 14:15 by Trap Men, and Men Junior will conclude the day at 17:30. So I hope you can join us for all of the finals. And these are our finalists for today. The top score being 114 by Elena Novelli of Italy. There are 3 Italian competitors in this final. Spanish camp has Noelia Pontes Villarrubia, who won the European Championships in Osijek in 2023. She's only 18 years of age. From Turkey we have Nisanur Ademir, 19-year-old. And the Czech Republic has Martina Matejkova in this final. So the shooters are just sighting the targets, and the final itself will start in 5 minutes. So just quickly to recap on the targets we're using are going to be eco-friendly type targets. The cartridges used in both trap and skeet disciplines are 24 grams, and anything above the accepted tolerance of 0.5 grams will result in disqualification. It does happen, but very rarely. So we're being streamed live on the ESC YouTube channel and on Facebook. Please do remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can follow us on social media. If you go also to the European Confederation website, all the information is there, along with a link to the YouTube channel. The local time is 13:24, so just a short time later we will start this final. We'll get it underway. So Abby, it's great to have you here.
Good to have you too.
How did you find the competition?
We're at Lonato. It's the cream of the cream of shooting. Everybody would love to win here. It was a tough competition, very tough. I shot 48 today. I was very pleased with my shooting today, but I did have a 20 yesterday, which I was not very happy about, which I'm sure there's many here that are in the same boat. But we're all competitors. This is what makes the best of the best, and may the best win on the day.
Very true. Did you find the targets a bit harder than normal?
If you do it right, it's all slow motion and lovely. But yes, it's Lonato. Just as you think you've got to grips with angles, seeing the targets correctly. There's always situations and challenges to deal with. So yeah, it's not easy. Never easy.
No, it's never easy. That's the nature of the sport, isn't it? Yeah. Particularly when it's at the high level. We're just waiting for the athletes to line up so we can start the presentation, which will follow with the final. So you can see all the athletes on your screen which are going to take part in this final. The Italian colours of the uniform are dominating. And that's the mascot of the shooting range.
Ladies and gentlemen, Freedom Italian Shotgun Federation, Concaveri Organizing Committee, and IEC European Shooting Confederation are highly pleased to welcome you in the fantastic framework of Lonato del Garda to share together with you this new international adventure, the European Championship 2024. We are so excited to have you all here with us today for starting to play the finals of this European tournament. Calendar begins with trap events, as you know,
Today's
and
announcer
today we are
is
about to
Zara
celebrate the best trap shooters
Fanciulacci,
at the qualification stage at
who you can probably
125
hear
targets,
in the
playing for
background.
individual finals.
So the athletes are now coming out.
The is now so ready to open the dances of this trap women junior final. As is a formal final,
So
we
the
have
first
25
competitor-
targets to determine the sixth place,
Oh, this
then
is
under 5 targets we have the fifth
the
place,
president
and so on to end with the
of
last
the
10 targets
Lonato
that will
shooting
unveil the
range,
most precious medal of the podium.
Ivan
And
Carella.
now, athletes on the line. Let's go presenting in position number 1.
So-
Representing Italy, Brian, 4th place in the SSF Junior
Elena
World Cup in
Navelli
Seoul
is our
2023.
first
And the fifth
competitor.
place in the World Championship Chongqing 2023. And
She's
again,
20
there,
years of
sixth
age.
place in the mixed team event. We're coming here today, Navelli Elena.
The first of our Italian competitors. And we've got two presidents on your screens. There's the ESC president, Alexander Ratner, and Luciano Rossi was alongside him. So the second competitor in this final is Giorgia Lenticchia of Italy as well. She's 21 years old, and you can see her achievements on the screen. She was last year's finalist, where she came fourth, so let's hope she can finish in a high position this year. And this is the last year's winner, Noelia Pontes Villarrubia of Spain, who is 18 years of age. And less than a year ago, she won the European Championships in Osijek. Nisanur Aydemir is the fourth shooter in this final. She's from Turkey and 19 years old.
His younger career as junior championship in Changwon and Larnaca, our greatest welcome to Nisa Nur Aydemir. And in position number 5, representing Czech Republic.
The fifth shooter in this final is Martina Matejkova from Czech Republic. She is 20 years old. And the final competitor in this final is Valentina Dolci from Italy, who is 19. So it's a fairly mature final, wouldn't you say, Abby? I mean, junior competitors can compete up to the age of 21. We do have some 15 and 16-year-olds, but not today. The youngest competitor is 18-year-old Noelia.
Applause also for the referee in charge for this final, Mr. Hassan Mohammed from Bahrain.
Jury in charge was on your screen earlier, Silly Fulvio from Italy, and the referee in charge, Hassan Mohammed from
We
Bahrain.
are really eager to start, so please start us in the store and let the show begin.
Some fantastic fireworks going behind the competitors, quite unusual, but effective. It's adding to the atmosphere.
Hey, it's fine.
Hopefully they'll go out soon so the shooters can get on the way. Yep, and there we go. So just to recap, this is our finalists for the women junior competition. So for today's final, we are using scheme 6. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more, Abby, about, is it a difficult scheme?
Well, there's 9 schemes. If I'm totally honest, scheme-wise, I don't know them all off by the book. I just
You just
focus
shoot.
on shoot what comes out the hole.
Yeah, why not? That's a good approach.
But to be fair, a lot of people do like to know the schemes so that they know the crossing points, and generally that changes their hold, where they're going to look. Potentially, some people, if there's like a lower target on a particular peg, they may hold their gun a little bit lower for the wider angle target. But the majority try and keep everything consistent.
Right, just for those of you who are not that familiar with trap, I'll go quickly over the rules. So in trap, we have a total of 15 trap machines, 3 machines per station, and we have a total of 5 stations. As you can see on your screens, the shooters are lined up on each station. The 6 persons usually behind shooter number 1. Each shooter will get to shoot 2 left, 1 straight and 2 right targets in the first 25 sequence. We have a total of 50 targets in this final. The targets are released at random, so shooters don't actually know what they're going to get till about the last 5 targets. Am I correct, Abby?
Yeah, you can sometimes work out the last 10 on certain pegs, but yeah, definitely the last 5 if you're a target counter for sure.
Right, so, and after the first 25 targets in this final, they will be reset. And so the shooters will once again be faced with randomly released 2 left, 1 straight and 2 right targets. The first elimination will happen after the first 25 targets have been shot. So the shooter placed in 6th place will leave this final. After the 30 targets, the 5th place will be eliminated. After 35 targets, the 4th place. And when we get to 40 targets, we will have our bronze medalist. The gold and silver medals will then be decided in the following 10 shots. If the scores are still equal after 50 targets have been shot, we will have a shoot-off to determine the winner. In the trap final, unlike in qualification rounds, only 1 shot per target can be, well, you can only use 1 cartridge per target, whereas in qualification shooters can fire up to 2 shots. So this makes the final that much more challenging.
Oh yes. And it can be more of a mental game when it comes to firing 1 shot, because during qualification the shot's not finished after the first. You still got your eye on that target for the second shot, so you don't see the mistake of where you missed for the first shot, because obviously you're continuing to break that target. You don't really take notice of where you missed with the first shot, whereas in this game, now in the final, it's down to who is obviously best first barrel, rather than surviving those difficult moments with the second shot to get you out of trouble.
And this is of course highly charged situation, with shooters being under a lot of pressure.
Definitely, they will all be feeling nervous. Anybody, I think, that competes in any competition and final that says they aren't nervous or don't feel adrenaline at some point during their qualification or final, it's all about who manages it the best.
And we're just coming towards the end of the first series of 5 targets. I mean, it's too early to say at this stage what's going to happen, because with 1 shot and 25 targets in total to go till first elimination, the ranking position can change so easily. But so far we've got the high score is 4 targets out of 5 by the 2 Italian competitors, Elena Navelli and Giorgia Lenticchia. Quite a difficult name to say.
I must admit, I think it would be so it's a final for the junior women, but what a final for the Italians. You've got all 3 junior women in there, and without any doubt whatsoever, they will all be wanting to win the gold, take home a medal, but also you train together, you compete together. I know certainly if it was me, they are your teammates, but you definitely want to be the one coming out on top. If not, best case scenario, have all three of you in gold, silver, bronze.
That would be an amazing, actually, achievement for the Italian team, considering that this competition is taking place in Italy.
And on your home ground.
Yes.
Yeah, home crowd. What a perfect opportunity. Some that won't have an opportunity, obviously, after next year. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the 21-year-old Georgia will be wanting to make a statement.
Yes, that is her last year
Within
as a
her last
junior.
year.
Yes, she will be shooting for the seniors next year. So that's her one and last chance to win the European Championships. And Daniele Di Spigno is the coach for the Italian team. He's a well-known shooter, used to shoot double trap, has won numerous medals on the international scene. So it's nice to see him transition into coaching trap. I mean, double trap and trap are a little bit sort of similar, although they're different, but there are similarities. Obviously, skeet is completely different discipline with completely different even shotguns and technique.
Yeah, if you can see a lot of the preparations, for trap, everybody prepares in a different way, but generally you are trying to calm yourself, calm your heart rate. When you're missing, you don't want to have to problem solve too much or let that heart rate increase. It's all about confidence as well when you close that gun, knowing that that target is going to break.
Yes, confidence is one thing you really need in life, in all areas of life. It does help, and certainly on the shooting range. Even with a poor technique, the shooter that has the most confidence and belief in themselves is the one who breaks the targets.
Absolutely.
With certainly over 50 targets, you're not going to get away, even if you've got the best technique in the world. But the moment you start to doubt yourself is when the misses come.
Absolutely. Always interests me the different colours that they are all wearing. So with the condition of the background, it's a lovely green background, the sun is shining. There is some junior women in that final that are wearing clear purples. So it's just interesting to see the different colour configurations that naturally, they're choosing to see the target best.
You're talking about the glasses?
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I think each shooter has a unique way of seeing targets and just seeing generally, and what works for one will not work for the other. But it is interesting to see how when the light is so bright, some shooters are still wearing light lenses.
Absolutely. So I am guilty of one of those. I wore clear just because even though the sun is out, sometimes with the clouds, there's a few clouds in the sky today, and when it becomes overcast, the light just changes slightly. So
Yeah, it was kind of strange. I was watching the last few qualification rounds yesterday when it was overcast, and I actually found that the targets were standing out so much better than it was early in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment the final is taking place and there's some very bright and sunny conditions, and you can actually see clays like dustbins.
And they've got no covers, they're out in the heat of it.
That's right, but that's for trap, something I suppose you're not as used to as skeet shooters. And just for a bit of background, I used to shoot skeet for many years for Great Britain. And I shot alongside Abby for many years at major competitions. So for skeet shooting, it's normal not to be undercover. So when she just mentioned, they're not undercover,
We're spoiled. We're spoiled.
you
really.
are definitely spoiled. We rarely get to shoot undercovers, and certainly not on station 1, 2, 6, and 7, and 8, of course. Yeah, but we don't have any rain today, which is a blessing. Over the last few days, the weather in Italy has been shocking. Well, in our area anyway. I don't know the rest of Italy, but in northern Italy, we had some
running like a
Oh,
river.
unbelievable amount of rain, yeah, in short space of time. In about 30 minutes, maybe an hour. I
Yeah.
think someone said it was 35 millimeters of rain.
Wow.
And yeah, the water was running down the road, sweeping everything in its path. So something to see, really, to believe it.
Grateful for the sunshine now.
Definitely. And the fact that it's not overly warm as well. I think it makes it ideal shooting conditions. And actually, as you can see, some of the shooters in this final are wearing t-shirts, yet others, and actually it's the Italian team who are wearing long sleeve tops, which is quite interesting. So I suppose, well, you would expect,
Cold day for them.
yeah, it must be, but you would have thought that the Spanish shooter would have a similar kind of climate. But
See, like now on your screen, the sun's gone in, so there's just a half shadow. So the sun is actually now at the back, and then you've got dark shadow coming over at the front, and they seem to be coping very well with it.
yeah, I think when you are there on the station and then adrenaline is running,
You've got to break that target.
yes, it's a little bit different. Things we notice when you're in a good set of mind, you never actually notice those things, do you?
No.
It's when you start to doubt yourself that everything becomes an annoyance, and you notice every little bit. You know, the light going, someone coughing, or throwing their empty cartridges in your path, so you think, but not necessarily the case. But just little things start to niggle and annoy, and then start resulting in misses.
Absolutely.
But we are actually on a sort of on a good. Oh, well, there's one miss, but they're doing quite well. They've picked up. The shooters have started to get into a rhythm, hitting the targets nicely. Elena Novelli of Italy still leading with 12 targets. Can she make it to 13? Yes, 13 out of 15 targets shot. So 13 out of 15 with a single barrel through.
Not bad going.
Yeah, not bad at all. In fact, the scores are pretty decent. Just to mention an interesting fact that in trap, shooters have 12 seconds in which to call for the target. The timer starts from the moment the previous shot has been taken or when the referee gives the ready command. If a shooter goes over the allocated time, then a warning and a yellow card would be given, and any time infringement after that will result in the loss of a target. It doesn't happen that often, does it, Abby?
No.
But it can happen
But
theoretically.
there's always a first.
Yes. So you may be able to see there's a clock running in the top right of the shooting field, so to the right of the shooter in the 5th firing point. So just a quick bit of information about the shooting range in Lonato, which is also called Concaverde shooting range. It was established in 1982 thanks to the 4 shooting friends who got tired of travelling around the country to various shooting grounds. They decided to build their own range, and year after year it sort of grew, and eventually it became this fantastic shooting facility where shooters from all over the world come not only to compete in but to train. I mean, I first started coming here definitely in 2002. I can't quite remember whether I shot here in 2001, but definitely 2002 was my first one with the training camp, which we combined with going to Seviere to have a shot made. Because this is another wonderful thing about this range. It's located so strategically for not only competitions, training camps, but also to be able to visit gun manufacturers like Perazzi, Beretta, Renato Gamba, and whatever else people shoot. All the famous Italian gun manufacturers are here. stock makers as well. And the president of the shooting club, whom I mentioned earlier, Ivan Karele, he actually has been working with this facility, I believe, since 2004. He's actually the son of one of the founding members of the shooting range. So I think it's quite amazing that I think he'll have commitment, not just because he has a job and probably enjoys shooting, but also the fact that his father was one of the founding members.
Yeah, it's nice when a ground has history as to how everything has been built, with everything that's around it, training facilities. I mean, I believe you can actually go into the trench where the traps are down in the bunkers and walk from one end all the way to the other. So what's more incredible than having a facility like that on your doorstep?
Well, definitely for those people who are familiar with how the trap ranges are built, this is kind of amazing. More often than not, they're not connected. You just have an individual trap range with your machines there, and you can't access one range from the other underneath the ground. So that is a feat of engineering. Oh, okay,
Just had a technical malfunction, I believe, with the clock timer. So they're just restarting, so she just had to recompose herself for this target and
well
gets
done.
it.
Yeah.
Got a look at the coach.
So we have just a couple of targets left to shoot for in this sequence of 5 targets. The girls are still going strong.
They are. So as you approach the final stretch towards the 25 targets, really your first 25 stands you in good stead for the future eliminations. Obviously you want to do your best throughout the whole thing, but some people can not start so well because they're a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious, then find their way, and once you're in that groove, if you can just keep that going,
Yes, absolutely.
you can survive. But as you can see, Ponte's having a little bit of a hard time now, missing 2 back to back, and then the missing carrying on to Adamir. Yeah, I think she was relieved of that one. She powdered that one. So if the clay drops an element of the powder that is within the centre of that clay, it is classed as a hit. Hence the reason they have the 2 side referees, in case they see a strike of the pellets on the clay, it is classed as a break. So it goes down as a score.
I'm just looking at the scores. We are into the last 5 series of targets before the first elimination takes place. The lead slightly changed, and Georgia Lentikia was leading alongside Martina Matejkova. They were both on 17 hits before the series started. But we've got 5 more targets to go. Or 4 more, rather. The 2 shooters in the danger zone are Valentina Dolci and from Italy, and Turkish competitor Nisa Nur Aydemir. If the scores are still tied after 25 shots, then the shooter with the lowest bib number or with the highest, she's missed another one. Well, so if the scores are tied, the shooter in the...
So in this position now, Dolce has to hit. If she does not hit, she will go out on bib number. She's hit, so she stays in, and I'm afraid in the danger zone now is the Turkish.
Well, with 3 targets to
lady.
go, we can have a change.
Absolutely.
Yeah, target by target change. So let's see when we get to 25 targets who manages to be the strongest mentally.
Yeah.
Because quite often you do know what's actually happening, don't you? You do know, well, like it or not, you can hear hits and misses.
The crowd sometimes helps the situation, or you get an oh. It's like,
Yeah.
hope that's not for me.
Oh, the Turkish competitor is having a hard time. She's just missed 2 targets in a row, dropping down to the 6th position. And she's 2 targets behind, so if Valentina Dolce was to hit the next target, she's safe. She's in the
She
safe zone.
has already, yeah. I believe the Turkish junior lady Ademir, there was a few of them actually shot off for this final, so I believe so there's 4 shooters that shot off to get into this final with just, is it 3 places?
There were 3 places, yeah, and 4 people
Yeah.
shooting off.
Oh, which is a shame because our Holly Lumsden missed out on that. She shot off for the final and unfortunately didn't proceed, but shot very, very well.
I think we'll come back to Holly a little bit later on. I think she's got quite an interesting story to tell. It's just we're coming towards the first elimination, so we'll just watch this last target in the 5 series of targets being shot and see what actually happens. So the highest score so far is 21 hit targets out of 25. The 2 Italian competitors, Elena Novelli and Giorgia Lentichia, are the leading athletes, being joined by Martina Matejkova from Czech Republic. Noelia Pontes Villarubia is next on 20 hits out of 25. Valentina Dolci of Italy has managed to stay in the final on 14 hits out of 25, and unfortunately Nisanur Erdemir of Turkey finishes in 6th place. She's just walking away from the field. She's going to take a place behind coaches and watch the final proceedings. Some of the shooters had to walk off to get some more cartridges, which I'm surprised they didn't bring enough ammunition with them onto the range. How often does this happen, Abby, in a final?
If I want a break and a drink, I'd use the opportunity. Not a problem. Even if my pockets were full.
And is this allowed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so after every elimination you can walk off?
No, I don't think from now. I think when they proceed with the next.
So just the first 25 targets you can go refill your pockets.
I believe
and that's
so.
it.
I believe so. I'm not 100% clued up on the rules, but clearly they're allowed to. Otherwise, the referee on the finals range would have
Said something
summoned
about it.
them back.
Yeah, it could be a useful actually tactic to put some of your competitors off as well.
Could be if you're that way inclined.
As
yeah.
well as give yourself a break, obviously, as you mentioned. So we are now on to the next 5 targets, after which the person with the lowest score will be eliminated. And just going back to what you said about the British competitor Holly,
Yes.
I hear she has a very interesting story. She had her jewellery wired.
Yeah, so she's actually not long recovered from jaw surgery. So to be back here shooting at the European Championships, and achieving, shooting off for the final, I think as much as she, I'm sure, will be disappointed, but there's no disappointment there with the recovery and what she's achieved in that space of time.
I can't actually believe that she was able to come back and compete without being fully recovered, probably, because I should think would take a year of full recovery, and with having to mount your gun and firing it, you still get recoil. Even the best of us, you know.
Yeah, I think you as an athlete know yourself the best. So if you have a passion for the sport and you know whether you can cope with your healing process of shooting, and whether it obviously affects your health in whatever way, you know, Holly's probably made a very good judgment of that, hence the reason why she's here today shooting the European Championships. And when you have a passion for the sport as well, you would do anything to be out there to compete.
Yeah, and I think being particularly sort of junior athletes are probably more brave than senior, you know, because we think too much and analyse too much. But I think it's an amazing achievement for her to be here. It's a shame she didn't make the final, but she did absolutely fantastic to shoot off for the final.
Absolutely.
And hopefully she will be in the next year's final.
Yeah.
We have just 2 targets left before the next elimination. And Elena Novelli is leading the pack on 24 targets out of 29 so far shot, followed closely by Georgia Lintikia on 23 hits out of 29. And joined also by the Spanish athlete Noelia and the Czech athlete Martina Matejkova. But Valentina Dolci is having a hard time, and she's quite far behind, so she will be eliminated. There's no way for her to catch up.
Yeah, I will admit that I think these elimination sections, for example, you will all still get the same targets, but in a random sequence. Now, if you saw there, Dolce had the hard write-off of 4. Now, some of the others may not get that particular target within this 5. So it is down to a little bit of what targets as well you're going to get within those first 5 of that next elimination round. You kind of want them to be a bit kinder.
Well done to Valentina Dolci for coming in the 5th position at this European Championships, and a nice hug and a kiss from the coach, Daniele Di Spigna. She's going to also join the rest of the coaches and the Turkish competitor and watch the rest of the final. So we have Elena Novelli leading by 1 target, but the scores are very close and it is impossible to call to see who's going to be eliminated next.
So if you think about preparation and timing now as a shooter, when you come down to less and less people in the final, this is what can sometimes put you off course and make you feel a little bit more agitated, because the timing of your routine, as in the prep prior to your shot coming up, is less. So you have to just make sure that you're on top of your game to keep yourself calm, and then be prepared to just speed up the prep time in between the shooters for when it's your turn.
Yes, absolutely. With 4 shooters instead of 6, things are going to go that much quicker, and then quicker still as the shooters get eliminated and we get down to the last 2 competitors.
It can work in your favour sometimes if you prefer not to wait around and be dithering and get on with the job. It can work in your favour if you're in that rhythm, but if you're missing, sometimes the composure just doesn't, you know, you've got to get it together within a shorter space of time. Still quite tight.
Yes, very tight at the top. Noelia so far has hit 3 out of 3 targets. The other 3 competitors have all missed 1 target each.
Yeah.
2 more targets to go before we find out who our medalists are and who is the unluckiest person to end up in the 4th position, which is the worst the worst place to be in, isn't it?
Yeah, and when it's single barrel, you don't run a clean 5 or get into a little bit of trouble just for a moment, it can change your game. Very tight indeed.
Yes.
So 28 and then 27, 27, 27. Look at that. Can you call it?
No. Not with one.
So
with one
she's
target.
definitely proceeding. Oh.
And that might be the deciding miss. Who stays in and who goes
Just
out.
has to wait now. So it's down to this shot here. And she gets it. So she stays in. Survives
And
another
after
5.
35 targets, big round of applause for Giorgia Lenticchia, Italy, with 27 out of 35.
And Giorgia
So,
Lenticchia
yes,
unfortunately
she's securing the
finishes
fourth
in the
place.
4th
Thank you for being
place.
here.
So close yet so far, and it's an exactly the same place that she finished in at the last year's European Championships in Osijek. So hard luck. Hopefully she'll have more luck in the senior finals, because she will be shooting as a senior from next year. This is her last year as a junior, as she's 21 years of age. We now have our 3 medalists, but the colour of the medals will start being determined after the next 5 shots. The shooters are all neck and neck. It's very close. They are on 29 hits each. 4 more targets to go before we find out our bronze medalist. And of course, at the moment, if the scores are tied, it will go on bib numbers. But the gold and silver medals will be decided by shoot-offs.
See, that was a big target.
Yes, it was. Looked quite a really extreme angle, and it was the right target. Now that's much nicer. I could hit that. I'm not sure I could have hit the previous target.
I think they'll all be pleased at this stage. They are getting a medal. For sure.
Oh yeah, oh without a doubt. But you still won the gold medal.
Absolutely. Now the crowd's getting involved. Bit of help. That's where it gets exciting.
Oh, and another miss.
So she needs to just wait there until she's shot. Now she's allowed to walk, so they all change positions. And now just Elena's got to wait for the ref to say ready, and this will be when Pontes gets on station 1 to help prepare. Now, can she hit this one to take joint lead? No.
And it's a straight target, just not.
They are
once
the
to-
most annoying. They're waving at you. Bye. So now it's down to Pontes to take the joint. No, she followed suit.
Was that
Right.
quite a nasty target as well? It looked it, didn't
Wow. Oh, it's contagious.
it? It's the pressure. The pressure factor, I'm sure, is now. The girls know exactly what's happening. With 1 target to go, still fairly close. Martina Matejkova is 1 target ahead, and the Italian and Spanish competitors are both on 30 hits each.
Right, so these need to. So, got a hit.
It's on the bib number.
Pontes got a
isn't
hit.
it? Yeah, but it's on the bib number.
Oh, she had a big one. Never mind.
Right.
And with 30 target
And
smash
we
out of
now
40. We
have our bronze
congratulate
medalist
Spain,
of this
Pontes Villarubia,
European
Noelia,
Championships,
having
and it's
conquered the
Noelia
bronze
Pontes
medal.
Villarubia
And now
of
we have the
Spain.
last breathtaking 10 targets to go to unveil the young lady champions of
And
today.
we are now going to be on to the next stage of this final, the most exciting bit. If you are joining us now, welcome. We are into gold and silver medal matches. The next 10 targets will decide who walks away with a gold medal and who has the silver.
So I thought the Czech girl in the lineup looked very nervous. So I don't know if this is her first final or not, but look at her now. She's lapping it up.
Yes, and no doubt her confidence will be growing as she's going along, and the better she's shooting, the more confident she's feeling. I'm not sure if her competitor missing is also kind of helping a little bit.
Look, anything can happen in the next 10 targets.
Of course.
You get off to a good start and stay that cushion ahead. When you just have a little bit of a mishap happen, you've got a cushion.
So well done for Elena Novelli. She's made a good recovery after that miss, hitting the next two targets. But Martina is looking actually unstoppable. 3 hits out of 3.
This is where I prefer to be the next shooter, because you've got the preparation time of the one before you to get ready, whereas Elena has to wait for the referee to say ready, which can be a little bit more inconsistent to get prepared and be ready to take your shot.
Yes, whereas the timing for Martina goes from the Elena's shot.
Yes. So now she has to wait.
Yeah.
And now they can move. Oh, she's breathing. Big sigh. I'll just have a little drink, slowing things up.
So we have a difference of 3 targets with 5 more targets only to go, which is quite a big advantage, even with a single shot. I know anything can happen.
I don't put kiss to death.
No,
I was
no.
in this position once, ready to win, and then I was like, oh my god, it's unraveling.
Oh,
But you got to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, and I think Elena's making her life quite difficult.
Oh, see, you got to hit one. Come on.
They will. I'm confident of that.
Just one.
We have 4 targets to go each. The pressure is getting to the competitors. Just 4 more targets. They've done all the hard work, 2 days of qualification. They've shot 46 targets so far, 4 more to go. Just hit the back end of that.
Yeah, crowd's gone a little bit quiet. Oh, there we go.
I think mathematically 1 more hit by Martina and we will have the
Elena
gold.
has to hit.
Yes, she has to hit.
Come on, she's got to hit these next 3 to stand an opportunity.
Continuing the pressure on Martina.
That's what you want, 'cause you never know.
God.
See? You never know.
No. So 2 targets difference, 2 targets to go each. Who wants it most?
And she could have. I think she's already had the right hand up straight. No, there it is. She gets it. Just calm.
Oh
No.
no. Oh no. That is 1 target now. The lead has been reduced to 1 target and 1 target to go. Elena needs to hit this target, so she's under a lot of pressure. She will know it as well. Robia from Spain in the bronze medal position
I actually shot against her in the Champions League
last year.
and she forced me to a shoot-off. Yeah, so some good up-and-coming talent there. Amazing. And the Czechs will be over the moon to take that gold medal.
As you can see by looking at the Czech coach, who's absolutely delighted, lifting up his athlete into the air.
Absolutely.
And there's Valentino Rossi there, ready to congratulate our gold medalist. Mauro Pirazzi as well. You can see what shotgun she's shooting. Oh, this is the nicest moment now. All the hard work has been done, and you can just lap up the joy, the fantastic performance you've put in over the last 2 days. Congratulations to our 3 medal winners, 3 medal winning teams, so Czech Republic, Italy and Spain take away medals. We have 3 more finals happening today. Women's senior will be next. Please join us for that at 1500 hours. Trap men will follow at 16:15, and Trap men junior will conclude today's finals at 17:30. I'm not sure actually if we're still going live. There was supposed to be a little recap of the final, which is not happening quite yet on your screen, and there it is. So it is goodbye from us for now. Please enjoy the little recap of the women junior final, and please join us at 1500 hours for the trap women final. Thank you, Abby.
Thank you.
sky. It's a sun and you have